What's up, YouTube? My name is Dylan, and today I wanted to start off with a new review of the new Metro Boomin album, Heroes and Villains. So the cool thing about this album is it's been a minute since Metro Boomin's dropped his own independent album. As you guys know, or should know, Savage Mode 2 released either last year or the year prior, and that did very, very well. But to get a sole Metro Boomin project after 4-something years, because in 2018, Not All Heroes Wear Capes released, and then that was a really great album. The coolest thing about Metro Boomin albums typically is the fact that he's solely a producer, so he's not really rapping on the song. So he just gets like all of these like top tier rappers and puts them like kind of in like a compilation album, I consider. And also like Metro Boomin is probably one of the greatest producers of all time at this point, especially within the trap scene. So you're expecting a great album, and you'll get a great album. Album starts off with On Time with John Legend. Very, very good song. I was surprised, like, the style of it threw me off a little bit. It was a lot more sing-songy than I was expecting. There's no rapping on it because it's John Legend. But it serves as a really great intro to the album, in my opinion. And other than that, pretty much just a great album starter. Really kind of gives off the theme of what you're expecting for the album. In terms of production, it kind of gets like the sound like into your brain, if that makes sense. And then second song on the album, Superhero, in parentheses, Heroes and Villains, with Future and Chris Brown. Also another great track. Love to see Future partnered up with Metro Boomin again. I love Future. Like, honestly, one of the top rappers right now. After I Never Liked You drop, like, that kind of even more so cemented himself as, like, one of, like an artist that people are going to be inspired by in future generations and stuff. Well, he is getting pretty old. I believe he's 38. So it's kind of crazy, his legacy so far. So many albums, so many hits. And then it's Chris Brown. Like, it was cool not to see Chris Brown, like, fumble his feature like he did on Joey Badass's 2000 album. Because the song with Chris Brown on that was, like, I would consider the worst song that's on the entire album. So it's kind of cool to not see him fumble it this time. Track 3, Too Many Nights with Don Toliver. Another really great song. It's got Future on it. And, of course, Don Toliver. Don Toliver's voice always complements, like, trap rappers very, very well. So it was great to see this collab. And then here's when we get into the really good stuff. Travis Scott has multiple songs on this album, and you don't really, it's not often you get Travis Scott songs. We got Down in Atlanta, I want to say, 2 weeks ago, and that was a great song. But it's just cool to see, much more Travis. So we get Raindrops, in parentheses, Insane, which is a really great way to, introduce Travis Scott to the album. And then Umbrella immediately following that for track 5. 21 Savage and Young Nudy on the same song. They both complement each other very well. And also it's great to see, because 21 Savage and Metro Boomin, obviously they have 2 projects together already. So it's to be expected that you're going to see a lot of 21 on this album. But the Young Nudy collab is just great. Really, really, really enjoyed that. Track 6, Trance, is with Travis Scott and Young Thug. Hearing Young Thug again, Young Thug delivers a great verse. And it was just really cool to see him collab with Travis Scott again, because Skyfall off of Days Before Rodeo is one of my favorites. And it was just, great to hear him. I don't know if it was recorded before he got indicted or whatever for his, RICO charges. I'm not sure about when it was recorded, but I'm hoping that it's a more recent verse that he did. And then I don't really know how they would get that to him in prison. Maybe there's some sort of privileges that rappers can get to be able to still make music while behind bars. But also, if you think about it, he probably doesn't have much to do right now other than write music, being in prison, and also just trying to set up plan for the trial. If he has a way to be able to make music while also incarcerated, that would be great, because it really sucks, his whole situation. But I feel like rap just won't be the same without Young Thug. So that was great to see. And then track 7, another Don Toliver feature, except this time it's just Don Toliver. Metro Boomin and Don Toliver obviously complementing each other as per usual. Really, really great, enjoyable song. And then we get to Metro Spider, which is just Young Thug and Metro Boomin, obviously. So that song was top tier. Top tier. Like I said, Young Thug, I'm always happy to get another track with him on it, and just kind of adds on like to the consistency of this album. It's very, very consistent throughout. Then we got Creepin' with The Weeknd and 21 Savage. There's a lot of, like, you'll kind of notice a pattern of, like, you'll get, like, typical, like, pop singers and then trap artists on this album. Pretty much just being Don Toliver, John Legend, and also The Weeknd. So, yeah, Creepin' ends up being a really, really great song. Gotta enjoy the 21 Savage verses, and this is one that I think will probably chart on the higher side. But then also track 11, Niagara Falls, was a Travis Scott leak, and then it got released with this album. And it's also got 21 Savage on it, so that's another great thing to hear. I'm sure that that Travis's new album, Utopia, will feature a lot of 21 Savage. I would assume at least one feature, considering they also recently collabed on Millions on the Her Loss album. So it would make sense to see some 21 Savage. Also probably Drake, I would imagine, on Utopia. And then hopefully we get a Young Thug feature on that too. And I would also see definitely Future on that list too, assuming he doesn't do something like a no-feature album, which I feel like is kind of out of the question. There's that possibility. And then after that, they got Walk 'Em Down, Don't Kill Civilians. That ended up being a really great song. This featuring Mustafa, I believe you pronounce the name as. And he kind of delivers like a stranger verse, particularly. Like, I didn't really remember, like, I don't know, it just kind of was a little bit off-putting. But 21 Savage does great, so he kind of saved that song. And then also, Takeoff, as you guys know, has passed away, unfortunately. But there's a Takeoff feature on this album, I would imagine has been recorded for, like, way before he died. So, and that's also with A$AP Rocky. So that was a really great song. It was awesome to hear Takeoff. Like, obviously, we're not going to get a whole ton of Takeoff content unless they give him, like, the Juice WRLD or, like, the X type deal where they're, like, just putting out music with Takeoff postmortem. But Feel the Fire with A$AP Rocky and Takeoff, like, this is top tier on this album as well. Like I would probably rate this as one of the best songs. Might top out Niagara Falls. Really not sure as of right now, as this album just released like 9 hours ago. But this one is definitely a highlight, and I would definitely go take a listen to this one. And then there's also one last bonus track featuring Gunna. Also might be from before they got put behind bars, might be after. Don't really know what their deal is with that, but it's called All the Money. It's a little bonus on the end of the album. And I think it kind of wraps up the album pretty well. Not a whole ton to say other than I've never really been much of a fan of Gunna. He hasn't ever been like an artist I was listening to. The only songs I listened to him with them, or the only songs with him on it I listened to, are ones with also Young Thug at the same time. I don't know. Gunna has never really been my style, but this song was alright. This one would be like, I'd probably like say a 6 or a 7 out of 10 song in general. But overall, this album was honestly incredible. I didn't realize like how good it was going to be going into it, but I saw last night that I saw yesterday that it was supposed to come out. Like, there was like rumors about it, and then it released at midnight, and I just had to start listening immediately. I finished it off this morning. I didn't sit through the whole album because I did have to go to sleep. But yeah, this was overall like a really great album. Definitely, I don't really know if I would consider it like an album of the year contender per se, but in terms of like a compilation album with just lots and lots of different rappers and really great production, substantially like all the way through for Metro Boomin, I feel like it's definitely got to be one of the better releases of this year. I think overall this album is an 8 out of 10. There's not really a whole much like taking away from it. I just feel like some of the songs like aren't to that like really like high standard quality to get it like a 9. But yeah, I feel like an 8 is a pretty fair rating for this album, and I would definitely go take a listen to, in particular, our essential tracks: Superhero, Too Many Nights, Raindrops, Trance, and also Niagara Falls, and of course, Fiyaaaah with Rocky and Takeoff. So yeah, those are our essential tracks for this album. Definitely go take a listen, and if you guys enjoyed this video, please leave a like and subscribe. I took a brief break. I was busy with some other stuff, so we should be getting back on that one upload a week schedule after this week. All right, thanks for watching, guys. Peace.